Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three, definitely not Pathfinder agents that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Asher Ford, Human Ranger, played by Char.
Well, I have a pumpkin. Yay!
In the bottom middle, we have Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, played by Will.
I forgot this was our Halloween episode, so I have nothing. I'm sorry. I failed you.
In the bottom right, we have Gunn, Human Champion of Erastil, played by Adam.
I already shared my pumpkin on the Discord server, so if you want to see that, you'll have to check it out.
That's true. You can join our Discord in the doobly-doo of either the YouTube video or the Twitch or the podcast feed. I'm pretty sure I put it there too. Come say hi. We're incredibly active. Let me know. Let me tell you.
Let's give the game away so quick.
Constantly talking, chattering. But if you want to come say hi, or talk about Pathfinder,
more chattery when more people join us.
Yeah. Hey, case. Let's go and get started. That button. Last time on Third Action, a group of intrepid adventurers laid assault to the Kraknaratha fortress in the southern part of Zinshalast, swiftly taking out the what are they called? Katrina that currently held the fortress. Our heroes gathered up the bodies, made sure none escaped, and decided to, I guess, stay in the fortress for the evening. You sent off Morgiv with intention of retrieving any of your remaining items from the Hidden Beast Lair to bring to the fortress, as well as gather a few of the spared to serve as scouts or watchdogs for the fortress. Not watchdogs, but sorry, watchmen. Watchmen. That's the right word. I guess we'll just go ahead and pick it up there. It is currently it is about 4:18 in the afternoon. The sky is cloudy and rumbly. The sun has not quite yet begun to set. And you're all chilling in a fortress. What do you want to do?
Some healers.
Aye, that's probably a good place to start. Do some healing a bit.
Your healies.
And then after we've done some healing, we were going to send
parties.
Asher off, I think. Wasn't that the plan? Char's muted, so it's really hard to hear Asher speaking.
I just said yes, maybe. I'm pretty healthy.
I mean,
Asher's looking a lot healthier than last time we left off, so that's great.
Asher's at 276 of 296. Greshy's at 172 of 262. Gunn's at 169 of 278. And I believe both Roth and Phelan are at full HP.
They're doing fine. Well, I'd be happy to patch you up a little bit further, Asher, if you want to stick around for about 10 minutes while I work on pulling some things together. So I will start with just a regular medicine check at master level, whatever that is. I forget off the top of my head again. Is that DC 30, I think, or DC 40?
Master, I believe it's DC 30.
Great. So I'll pull out my marvelous medicines and start whipping up some quick poultices and proper healing bandages, and we'll do a master check. Well, it's not a critical success, but it will help a bit. So 35 total.
35. That'll be 2d8 plus 30.
That's 39 hit points that all three of us are able to heal back.
So, and I'll alternate with you with resting for 10 minutes and then throwing lay on hands. So I'll probably grab one of those for myself on this first and then that'll be 56. I could probably get it to go into the chat if I fiddle for a second.
I guess the button somewhere.
There we go. That should do it.
Yeah, it's like
Healing.
Healing, yeah.
54. That's not a.
It's not auto scroll.
This? Oh, yeah, no, that is correct.
That's correct.
6 times 9. Yeah.
Because 6 is not 8. That's
Yes.
a ticket.
Yep.
But is that for both of us then?
That'll be for me to start, and I'll get you in the
Okay.
next 10
I'm
minutes.
pretty healed. So.
Sure thing.
Well, I
Well,
believe Gunn only gets back one
Focus point at a time.
So,
fair.
and he can only do it if he's used a focus point. So he's got to
Mhm.
spend one at a time, unless he wants to burn them.
But curiously, ever since Gunn cast Angelic Halo, that halo effect over his head has not fully faded out. It's just sort of like staying there. It's maybe not quite glowing as brightly.
Just have a
But-
random light sort of thin golden thing above your head.
Yeah,
Fancy. Unusual.
it's I don't want to talk about it. I mean, I do because I just did, but it's fun. But no, yeah, I don't even know anymore.
So, are you dead and just not telling us? Like an angel come back down or something? Because we
don't-
already brought you back once, but...
No, I feel fine. Nope, everything's fine. That's probably it'll probably go away tomorrow. It won't.
Rock is in the. So you guys are all currently in the barn of stables of the fortress. Rock turns to look at you and says in Celestial, "Brother Gunn, that is a blessing of the Father, and that is not going away anytime soon."
Well, then I shall just have to deal with it.
It's an interesting look. It's a bit different, but...
When we get back to town, we'll see how people react to it. But for now, it's no matter.
Ah, very well. I will then... I guess I'll spend some more time bandaging up if Gunn wants to hang out a little longer. Asher, you're welcome if you need it, but you look like you're doing fine.
Feels
Surprising.
so good.
That regeneration, it really did a good number on you, huh?
Huzzah. My
Oh,
limbs
yeah,
have
that's what
grown
it was.
back. My liver is healthy. And both
From all the
my
drinking you
kidneys
don't
are
do.
here. Yeah.
I mean, if you do want some
Like-
drinking, I've got a mug that just makes beer permanently, constantly.
I could
Forgot
use a
about
drink.
that.
I'll dig that out then, and I'll hand it over for Gunn to take some drinks out of. It's my bottomless stein I picked up in town for, reasons.
That sounds like just what I need today.
And after that, I'll continue working on medicine.
Okay.
And we'll do another medicine check at master level. That's a bit better. I think that'll do.
That is a critical, so that should be double that, so 4d8 instead, plus 30.
Great. That brings us to a 44 total on the roll. And between the two of us, I'm fine now. I mean, if you wanted to do the good touch or something, you're welcome to, but I don't really need it. I'm pretty good.
Okay. I mean, consider it done. Because if I put it in again, it's just going to roll the same thing again. We don't need to-
Sure. All right. Well, then I'll take it myself. Oh, oops,
Okay.
I actually selected. Great. So, feeling a little better. So, we have a barn full of dead
Sorry, did Asher
Lamia
end up leaving, or is he still around? Or
No,
about
I'm
10
here.
minutes? Okay.
I haven't left. No one told me to go. I
We
don't know
haven't
what
really-
I'm asking anyone.
We haven't really figured out the full details yet, but Asher seems to be our liaison of sorts. So I would look to Gunn and ask, you're the bright one here. In terms of tactics, we need a map, I think.
Oh, in terms of tactics, sure.
Well, we're looking to assault
Oh.
a fortress. I'm not super experienced on assaults and fortresses, so you might be a bit more keen on that kind of thinking.
Too soon, Greshy. No, I think Asher speaking to the giants would probably be helpful, but I don't know how we can approach them without frightening them at this moment.
How'd you do it
There's a
before?
lot going on.
How'd you do it before, Asher?
I was a bird. A little bird. Flew in.
I think that would be too dangerous for him to try again.
Well, I mean, that could work if there's an opportunity. Depends what's going on in the camp. So I would say if you scout their camp and there's too much activity, you might need to head back. Gresh, you can detect Asher's condition at any distance today?
Technically, it's still a bit fuzzy at times, just from being around here, and especially up above ground as we are. But I still have the spells up, so I can still tell about how Asher's doing.
If he were to start to have some kind of injuries suddenly, we could go rush in and...
I'm just looking at this map here. If we're about 3,000, so a little over half a mile away from the giant encampment itself, so we need to be closer if we were going to be running in to try and rescue Asher. But I also don't know if that's a good idea. But I would say if Asher started suffering wounds all of a sudden, I would know about it. Do you think they're trustworthy, Asher? Or at least the one you were talking to?
Yes, I do. Asher says, full of confidence.
I mean, I've no reason to doubt Asher's word. We have some weapons we can offer them. They're welcome to use. I don't know if they'll want them, but we have got some of those we recovered from the stash, the hoard, as it were.
We could, if we wanted, we could literally offer them this fortress.
Oh, we can do
It's
that
not going
as
to do
well.
us much good. As soon as we go off to assault Shalaria, it'll be left empty. Better to have it in the hands of allies.
I have a question for you, Asher. When you were flying around as a bird, were the giants that you saw branded with a Sahedron?
Did I notice any Sahedron? I wasn't looking.
Yeah, I'd say you weren't looking closely enough to recall.
I wasn't really looking for any Sahedrons now.
They are. We could help them remove those marks.
Well, even if I don't know how easy it would be to remove them, but in terms of convincing them that we really do mean them no harm, telling them that murdering giants just strengthens Karzug, we have no interest in doing that. So the more of them that can escape without us having to do any damage to them would be best. Not to say we wouldn't if we had to, but trying to think. As I said, I'm not good with the words here. I'm tactically minded in the way that you are, so. But I think Asher's our way in. I just don't know if Asher's got a good way out.
I can also fly out. I can fly in and out.
Well,
Fly
sure.
out. If all goes well, he could lead the giants here to occupy this outpost.
Well, I'll leave it to you all. Greshy's gonna stand up and are you done with the Stein or still working on it?
No, still working on it.
All right, well, you keep that then. I'm gonna go meditate a bit and just ponder this. I trust y'all. You'll decide what's best here. So Greshy's just gonna step away over towards where Phelan is and kind of nestle into him as he starts to refocus.
Okay. So you refocusing for 10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else do anything?
Refocus as well.
Alright.
Asher's just writing down notes on what to ask, which is what I'm doing, so I don't forget, because I certainly will.
Yeah. So you take the time to just kind of relax. Greshy, you're centering yourself, meditating with Phelan in still in puppy form, playing with him a little bit. Gunn, you're just leaned up against the wall, arms crossed, meditating for a few minutes. There's a soft rumble of thunder again in the distance. Over 10 minutes pass. Asher, you finish writing down whatever you're planning on writing.
Hopefully.
We closed the gates, yes.
Yes, you did close the gates before coming in.
Okay. We should do some kind of patrols occasionally.
Sure, we can do that.
So,
Just do you want you and Rock to do most of them, or I mean, I can fly a bit, but
Yeah, we'll do.
fly a
we'll
decent
do-
amount, 3 minutes worth.
In fact, Rock and I will probably take turns. He can fly in and out of the stable here, and I can just climb up to the tower and walk around the walls.
Fair enough.
fine.
Know what you're gonna say, Asher?
Okay.
We won't necessarily have someone up there constantly, but we should be able to see if anyone's massing up with numbers to actually break through the walls or anything, or the gates.
And let me know if I need more. I don't have a lot. It's talking about how the fortress is empty. Do we plan on attacking Shalaria tomorrow? Is that
Tomorrow
right?
was the
The goal.
goal, yeah.
I was going to mention that we're currently stationed at Kraknaratha, which is empty now. What else kind of did you want to know or want me to say?
We're looking for means of ingress to the fortress. So if they have any map or idea of layout that they could provide us, that would be very useful. I don't know if they're willing to try and do any sort of distraction. If they were, that would be super, but I really don't get the impression that they're willing to do much. They haven't done much so far to help us, so
Perhaps we could get them to throw some of the... If we can make some kind of explosive out of this black powder, perhaps we could get them to chuck it up in the absence of siege weapons.
great, the black powder. I need to work on that. So if you have other ideas for things, that sounds great. I'm gonna start shoving. I'm gonna continue putting more money. I've basically been trying to remember about every hour to add more money to this chest, so that we can continuously have more enchanting materials. But otherwise, I'll take the barrel out and start playing around with the black powder. See what I might devise out of it.
They do seem to be able to throw things a lot farther than we can generally.
Mhm.
Thrown boulders is a favorite weapon so far, so it could work.
Boulders. Aye.
So,
Actually, now that I think about it, if we could get a couple of squads of giants to mix in some thrown boulders and thrown bombs at different parts on the wall as we launch our assault, and then just retreat if anyone comes after them, that could help
I do
quite
think
significantly.
that my opinion is that you're asking a group of people that wants to just run to stay and fight
Mhm.
and potentially lose. I think what they might end up wanting, and I could still ask though, is they might just be like, we don't quite care if you live or die doing this, we just need you to distract them so we can run.
Yeah, I'm not saying we should compel them,
I don't.
but if
I
they
mean,
volunteered, we
if
have
they
a use for them.
volunteered. Oh, sure. I agree with Asher. Well, this is admittedly based on Asher's impression so far, but we've gotten the shite end of the deal here. They haven't even stopped patrolling for us.
It's true. They
So-
also are getting abused and whipped and all sorts of harm befalling them. So I can't imagine that they would defy orders right now. Because I assume they would just get killed if they were like, I don't want to go patrolling right now.
When you
There was also no deal made yet.
right,
Mhm.
There was talk of potentially doing a deal with Asher, but that was never followed up on.
well, I suppose this is us following up on it then.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to try and strike a deal, might be amenable to doing something. But I understand they wouldn't want to put themselves in danger any further than they had to be. As I said, we don't really want them killed.
Right.
If they are in fact branded like these other creatures are. As I'm saying this, are the Kutrima branded as well? Were they in fact... Do they have Sahedrins or some sort of brand on them that might be causing, empowering Karzug even further? I know you're eating, so I'm trying to talk a little bit more while you finish chewing.
Thank you.
I just figured I'd keep chit-chatting a little bit and...
You could go examine one with a medicine check.
I'd like to... Now that I've taken a bit to recharge, as it were, I'll go over and take a look at one of Kutrima and see if there's anything apparent about them.
Yeah, a medicine check. Are you ready?
Sure, I'm really good at that. Very good at that. That's a 49 total.
Yeah, you inspect one of the dead Kutrima, and you find that on their back, between their shoulder blades, there's on this particular Kutrima, there's a spot where the feathers have been removed and the skin has been softly or lightly flayed, and they're carved and or tattooed and silvered ink is the Sahedrin.
That's what he's thinking. I'm going to guess these giants have suffered the same fate or a similar one. So, we've no desire to kill them. In fact, we've desired to help them get out of here safely, either by coming retreat into this fortress to pin up, or more likely, they'll just hopefully just leave.
Yeah. Either way.
But if they've anything to offer us in exchange, I guess I trust
Not
you, Asher.
exchange.
No, there's
Gratitude.
an exchange.
We're setting them. I mean, they're getting their freedom either way.
They're getting their freedom because we don't want to murder them. But if they want to make it easier for us, they'll give us something in exchange.
just sits there.
Let's not use those words when talking to them, even if that's how you
That's
feel.
whatever. You all know better about talking to folk than I do. So, well, as I said, I do trust you, Asher. You'll hopefully read the situation and figure out what to say. I still have, and Greshy will start. He'll actually go for the bag on his back and kind of pull it off and start pulling out weapons. There's a big lance. Slowly pull that out, set that down, and there's a giant great sword, frostbrand sort of thing. There's a much smaller, probably a dagger size for a giant, but a longsword flaming thing. So a few weapons if you wanted to take those with you to offer them as well.
Did those come from the fortress?
They came from the Hard. These were weapons that seemed.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, we took them for the explicit purpose of trading with the giants to exchange for something worth our while. But
Sure.
I will say, if it makes them feel better to have some extra defenses as they try to escape, I don't see any reason for us to keep it.
Are you giving those to Asher before he goes?
I'm putting them out on the ground so that Asher, if he's got room in one of these bags of holding, can shove them in.
Are these for them?
There's also a significant number of weapons here in the fortress.
Yes, I plan on mentioning that.
And those are just +1s, regular ones. These are a little fancier, not super fancy, but they're welcome to these weapons as well. Let me start handing these over to Asher. Can I hand these over to Asher? Do we have that option still, or is that gone again? Can I just put it on Asher? No, I can't just hand it over to Asher. That's unfortunate.
They're too heavy for me to hold.
The feature does not seem to be in right now. So I will pretend to give it to Asher. Intend to give it to Asher too.
Sorry, I'm talking to myself. The module for that is still broken.
That's unfortunate.
Thank you, Joseph.
Did I actually drop that? Where'd it go? Oh, shite.
Okay, so you pass some weapons over to Asher, who stuffs them in the bag. Alright, anything else?
Shall I go?
Sure, if you wish.
All right. Off I will turn into little bird.
3,000
Off
feet
I go.
is a little bit over half a mile. Your speed
How
is
long
like
will this take?
40.
That's actually important.
Sorry, you've got 40 feet movement speed. So you can go 400 feet a minute. 3,000 divided by 400 is about 7.5 minutes. So we'll say 10-minute walk for you. 10-minute speed walking.
10-minute walk.
Or, 10-minute flight, since you're flying. But...
Oh, 10-minute fly. I was like,
Sorry.
Well, if your fly speed is only 40 feet, so is it only 40 or is it faster?
Oh, sorry, yeah, what's your fly
I
speed?
feel like it was slower.
40 feet a minute is not, it's 120 feet a minute.
It's 40 feet in action.
40 feet in action.
Stupid bird.
So
Asher could probably
1,200
get there
feet
in
a
like a
minute.
couple of minutes, realistically.
Yeah, I said 400 feet a minute. Sorry, yeah, what's the speed on your flying form? It might be close.
Fly speed. Oh, it depends. Bird? Okay, this is a
Chicken?
larger type of bird, though. This is going to be a small bird. This is pest form. Come here.
I like
20
best
feet
forms.
is my speed. Just
Oh,
says
in pest
speed,
form?
20. Fly speed of 20 feet in pest form.
Oh,
Feature such as a bird. Yes, the smallest
Okay.
form has a much slower speed.
can you be something a bit bigger?
200 feet.
Or a
So it's
second.
15 minutes. It's just 15 minutes then.
And I can do this
I think
for
it's a
an
third of
hour
that,
each
Jason. I
time.
think it's.
Hmm?
I think that's the per action.
No,
20
20 feet per action, 200 feet per minute is the travel speed.
But it would be 3 actions around, and so it'd be
So it's
60 feet
600 feet per
times 10, which would be 600.
Yeah, but you're not. This is from the travel speed table. You're not using all 3 actions like 100% of the time in a perfect straight line to the target and not doing anything else. So this for normal movement.
All right.
That's
15 feet or 15 minutes.
Yeah. You can hustle if you want and go faster. Hustle is more like using all 3 of your actions to move.
Gotcha.
Standard travel speed is not assuming that you're running at full pace every single action.
True. It's just that 200 feet per minute is very slow.
Yeah.
Because
That could be bigger, but
let's say,
Let's
if
not worry
you're-
about
how
it.
big is big?
yeah,
However's quickest for you to get there and comfortable and all that jazz.
I think bigger is large. I don't think I want to be large. Oh no, it's not large.
Is
Big is
medium is also still probably a bit big, but
big
would be-
turkey.
yeah.
a sparrow or something would probably be the best. And if that's pest form, that would probably do.
Yes, a sparrow is best
Yeah.
form.
'Cause I think it would be medium by default, and medium could get me 50 feet, but I think pest form is
better for
more
hiding.
sneaky, yeah.
Mhm. We'd rather you not get shot out to the sky because they see a big
We're
fleshy
really not
bird
in
that
any
gets
rush
hungry.
on this part. The only rush would be if Asher gets in trouble.
At which point we'll hustle, but until then.
Alright, so pest form it is.
Pest form, we go. Woo!
Slight
get-
note.
Reading all of my spells yet again.
Alright. So, Asher, at about 4:53 p.m., you depart the rest of the group and make your way toward the giant encampment. Is that correct?
Yes.
In pest form. So said it'll take you roughly 15 minutes, 2 to 3, so you arrive, so you're flying over the encampment around 5:08 p.m. You can see, the sky is, it is snowing currently. There's still, the sky is still kind of dark. The clouds are rumbling every now and then. As you fly over the town or the city on your way here, you can see giants wandering about, searching buildings all around you. And once you reach the encampment, you can see that it's relatively empty. There are still some giants milling about, resting, that sort of thing, but based on what you're seeing, a lot of the giants seem to be out in the city currently. What would you like to do?
Okay. I would like to fly and looking for Yukak as I fly, but I would like to fly to his tent.
Okay, specifically to his tent.
Yes, he is there.
Okay. You fly down, or fly a little bit lower to get a closer look for Yukak's tent, and you do spot it. It's still right where it was before. The campfire outside seems to be out currently, but it's no reason not to get closer. Do you approach the tent, or the 2 guards that you saw there last time don't appear to be there at the moment?
I will get closer to the tent and listen to see if I can hear anything.
Are you gonna?
If I don't, I will hop.
So are you like landing on the ground to get really close?
Yeah, go to the ground, hop, hop, hop. my way over.
Okay. Give me a perception check, though. So you land beside the tent and hop around near the front.
Is this a vision-based or hearing-based?
This one's hearing-based.
And anything. Do you want me to keep it secret or?
Yeah, secret is good.
Oh, I'm upside down again.
I really don't know why. Okay, you listen carefully, kind of fake peck at the ground a bit, and you do hear some light rustling inside the tent, beyond the wind that's fluttering the fabric of the tent itself. It seems like something's in there.
Can I peek my
But
little
you're kind
bird
of
head
distracted
in?
by the sound of heavy footsteps of 2 tents over, walking between some tents.
I wanna peek my bird head in into the tent.
Okay. You hop over to the opening and peek your little sparrow head inside. And you can see there, working by candlelight, is Gyukak. He's seated on a pillow. He seems to have like a stone slab of a desk, and he is clearly writing something out.
Well, I'm gonna hop into the tent, and then Asher flies a little bit around to kind of settle in front of Gyukak and flaps his wings.
He startles a moment. Oh, you startled me, he says, his face going from surprise to his like grim stare very quickly. Where have you been? Heard much about your exploits around town. You
And
bring
Asher,
news.
Asher's going to turn back into his human form because he cannot talk as a bird. It would be silly.
Standing on his desk, you morph
Yeah.
back into yourself.
I'm
And
sitting on his desk.
Please don't step on that. And he tries to kind of shoo you off to the side. Because you're
What
like
a big
standing on
desk you have.
on a scroll that he was working on.
Oh, my bad. I didn't see that. Yes. My friends and I have been very busy around town, causing apparently a lot of mayhem.
Mayhem indeed.
Yeah. So we.
I really wish you had discussed this with me first.
You know, I thought I only needed to discuss Shalaria with you, but now that I think about it, perhaps I should have discussed other things as well. Does this put any kind of trouble into the plan if we were to attack Shalaria, say, tomorrow?
Tomorrow. He glances to his left in thought. Tomorrow. Yes, I
It's only a
could
day away.
muster up those who are loyal to me. It would be tired, but yes. What would you have us do?
Well, just today we took care of clearing out Kraknaratha, which is currently where my companions are residing, but it's currently clear of anything, so I think your path to leave will be pretty open. and safe.
Krafnaratha is already cleared. He repeats, trying to confirm what you're saying.
Oh, yes. Cleared it today.
And what of the flying ones, the Lamia kid?
As far as I know, we shot them. We shot them out of the sky. They are no longer living. At least the
Good.
ones that were there.
That is good. He begins tapping his chin, perhaps nervously. So we've already taken Krafnaratha. We plan an assault tomorrow. Where do you plan to go between that?
That's a good question. Currently, I think we plan on either we're staying at Krafnaratha or we'll retreat to our other safe areas to prepare.
His brow furrows. I thought there were only a few of you. How on earth do you plan to man Krafnaratha with such a small force?
Well, we're very strong, but yeah, I guess if people discovered us there, it might be a bit of a pain.
Who discovered you? Surely they'll find out within the hour.
Asher looks at his watch that he doesn't have. My goodness, well, isn't that the amount of time I should spend here then? He looks at the sun. Like, oh no, Greshy and Gunn have got it. If they get attacked, I'm sure they'll be fine. But there's other places we can stay that aren't the fortress itself. We've been holding our own.
You already have the fortress. This changes everything. Perhaps I should relocate my men there.
You think that would be a good idea? There are weapons there too.
Weapons. Yes, I was informed that some of the deliveries from Shalaria made their way there instead of to the camps below the city. Yes, we could use those.
Asher actually reaches into his bag and takes out the weapons that Greshy gave him. And he lays them out. It says, like, these.
He
These are good
reaches
ones.
for one cautiously and picks it up. I think one was a lance or a spear.
Mm-hmm. Radiant lance.
Lance, okay. Yes. These are fine weapons indeed. They sought not to give them to us yet. Well. When did you take the fortress?
Asher looks at his watch again. We took it today, probably. And how many? I don't know how long it's been since we took it. A few hours ago?
It's been about 2 hours.
Like
Less
30
than
minutes,
that.
really.
30
Like an
minutes,
hour.
just 15 minutes ago, in fact.
I just came straight from murdering things.
It's brand new. Do you see this blood on me? Did not clean up.
I can tell. Well, you took it only a few hours or so ago, then perhaps they haven't found out yet. I don't know. Knowing this earlier would have been a big help, but perhaps I can gather those who are in the immediate vicinity. We can join you at Krafnaratha. Your other companions are still there, yes?
To my knowledge, yes, they are still there.
Or perhaps instead we could continue to feign loyalty to this Karzud. But when the attack on your fortress is imminent, perhaps we could betray them then. But I suspect once the Rude Giants don't hear back from their Lamiakin scouts, they're sure to mount an assault. I wouldn't stay there for very long if I were you. But with our pilot, he seems to be kind of waffling on the notion of the system.
Well, I am sure my friends would like to see and talk to you and plan more about this. I'm not the best mouthpiece for everybody I know. But it certainly would be a way to plan more deeply for tomorrow. If you can get away with it.
I suppose this is our best chance. Very well. He stands up.
Ooh.
I'll gather those I can. We will try to make haste to crack Maratha as soon as possible.
That's excellent news. I hope. Yes. How long do you think it will take for you to get mobilized and go?
There are only a small number of us in the camp. Perhaps we can still reach a few of those who are patrolling nearby, but those in the north of the city will take much longer to arrive. I'll gather a few men and join you personally within the hour.
That sounds excellent.
But the rest may take longer to arrive, and once the word starts getting out, I'm sure the Rune Giants won't be far behind.
Well, I can go tell my friends that you'll be arriving shortly, within the hour of which I have a watch to tell time. And
very well. I hope that your friends are prepared for a siege. He says, and he will turn and walk out. What's that?
This seems like a very... Poor Ash is like, oh god, I've brought a siege to us now. I didn't ask for a map. Oh god. Well...
You can still stop him if you want, but he's stood up and he's like briskly walking toward Phoenix at the time.
But I can't tell him. I wish I had Greshy's stupid thing to tell me if this was a good idea or a bad idea. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I wish Greshy and Gunn were here, but they're not. I suppose Ash just paces around.
Doesn't stop him, just paces a bit.
It's like, wait. He tries to stop him real quick.
Okay, you catch him before as he's beginning to exit the tent. He's got his hand on the tent flap.
When you say siege, do you mean the Rune Giants will come today?
Yes, the moment they find out that Crack Maratha has been taken, they'll first try to send us, their lower forces, and then presumably will show up themselves. If they know that the ones who have been causing damage all over the city are involved, then certainly they'll strike as quickly as possible to eliminate them. You've made a name for yourselves.
This would interfere with the element of surprise, of attacking different places. And I wouldn't want the giants that we're trying to escape to be caught up in a fight that is dangerous quite yet. Is there a way to be sneakier about this? Or is this just the nature of what will happen?
He lets go of the tent flap and turns around and crosses his arms. To be sneakier about this. I see two possible options. He says, kind of rocking his jaw back and forth. Perhaps three. One is my followers and I pretend like this never happened. You abandoned the fortress, and when they come running, nothing happens. Wherever you hide to is none of my business. Then attack Shalaria on the morrow, as you potentially hoped. A secondary option would be for us giants to take the fortress and perhaps claim some kind of rebellion. If we take credit for it in your name, perhaps that would be a less pressing distraction. If we claim responsibility for it instead of you, then perhaps it wouldn't bring all of the, they would not tolerate such incidents.
I know exactly what I would suggest if I were there. It's not quite either of those things.
Sure. I'm just trying to give what he would think of in character.
No,
I, the GM, have no particular designs on any pathway here.
By all means. If you had if you were willing to take on an attack on the fortress tonight, perhaps we could muster some kind of assault now. But those who simply wish to flee may not get their chance now. There are too many enemies on the road south. I'm afraid I don't have a good solution for you.
I wish I, as a player, was smarter. Because I don't know what to do.
Go with your gut.
My tummy hurts.
What does Asher think the best thing is, the right thing to do, I suppose? The good thing to do?
Asher probably think the best thing to do is to save the most giants.
Seems reasonable. So what saves the most giants?
So having them wait till tomorrow saves the most giants.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we would lack them going to the fortress at all. We couldn't talk to Gunn, which is fine. Still think I can get stuff done from here. I hope. Yes, Asher would agree with the first, I think it was the first plan of pretend like nothing happened. We will leave crack Naratha and plan for tomorrow so that most all of the giants who would want to escape could. I think would be the best solution for getting people out safely.
It is a wise choice. I'm surprised that you care so much for my people.
Oh, I would care for anyone who's being nice to me, frankly. This way I'm happy for anyone who's just not trying to kill me.
You are easily pleased.
Thank you.
he quirks an eyebrow at your thanks for definitely not really a compliment.
But Asher thinks it is. I do want to ask though, do you happen to have any idea of how Shalaria is set up, a crude map you could draw, anything like that that could help us navigate an attack inside of it?
Shalaria itself. I can tell you what I once knew of it. Or, sorry, what I know of it from the legends. They say it was an ancient military academy, less than not quite a proper fortress. You know, it has a major outer wall and some larger buildings for lecturing and studying and military training, but I'm afraid that none of us giants were ever let inside. Only the leaders of clans are permitted within. And I, being the lonely giant I am, have never run a clan myself.
Slightly more than we know, at least. But it's not actually a fortress itself.
There are great stone
It is a
steps
thick outer-
that lead to the fortress from two sides, both the southeast and the southwest.
Are there any basement areas? Or is it just the stairs that go up? No secret, I guess you wouldn't know about secret entrances, but none that you've seen?
No, none that I'm aware of. Like I said, only the giant leaders have been there, as well as the rune giants themselves. If you were to capture one of them, perhaps they would be able to tell you more, but I'm afraid many of the giant leaders are not very amenable to my cause. I wish to see our people set free, while they wish to see our people become minions of this greedy wizard.
Just checking off things that I've done. I don't get lost. Okay. Two more things. And Asher will dig into his pouch again. I'll say, I don't know if I will see you again between now and if you actually leave, and he produces the little buster it's a giant buster statue that he got from Glorifex's lair of the giant chief, and produces a little bag of the money that he collected from Glorifex that came from the giants. He goes, I'm returning these to you from what they've taken.
He smiles at that. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what his actual response is. These are... You took these from War Effects, did you?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm still. He's still thinking. He is staring at the statue. Lifts it with one hand and looks at it. I know this, Chief. Perhaps someday I should be as great as he. And he sets it down. And the money. Yes, it will do good. It will do us good when we return to the lowlands. Perhaps we can start a new tribe and resume normal societal function instead of whatever this is. And gestures. Yes, this will go a long way in helping us. Why do you do this? All of this for us? This is far and beyond what I would expect from some random adventurer.
Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but I don't like when people get taken advantage of, or enslaved, or injured, or lied to, and you've had things stolen from you, and I discovered those things, and the least I can do is give them back.
Well, the least we can do then is to give you whatever aid you require. You should probably go back to your friends.
Yes, I think Asher's one last day would be if tomorrow, when everything is happening, if you arrive at Crack Naratha and you get your weapons and footing back, if there is anyone that would like to or is willing to fight or rebel or have a distraction, I don't want to force anyone to do so, but it would be appreciated to have allies.
Come to the fortress first thing in the morning. If it is left in Giant's hands, then I will try to insinuate myself there. If you do not see me up on the tower, then perhaps instead check things. If I have not been assigned, come back here to this tent. I will leave a message for you if nothing else.
Thank you. I'll bring this information to my companions, and I do hope to see you one last time, at least to wish you well.
I hope the same. Now, we really should be going, and I must begin my own work. If we are to survive the morrow, there's a lot of planning to be done.
Perfect. just double checking the wording on something.
Alright.
This is what I want. Cast requirements. Okay. And instead of using waiting around for 10 minutes, Asher just casts. Can I do small with this?
With animal form.
Certainly can, because it says there's a wasp. I'm like, there's no way it just starts at medium wasp.
Which spell are you
Oh,
looking at?
It does start at medium. That is unfortunate. I might have to wait 10 minutes
Okay.
and fiddle with some sticks.
I'm going to say that
wait
conversation
10
took about
minutes.
15 minutes on its own. Then you take 10 minutes. So he exits the tent and leaves you there. You take your 10 minutes to refocus. Just kind of standing at the edge of the tent, watching the snow fall. I guess you don't have any. How do you refocus on your version of
You're
Druid?
on nature.
Okay. So yeah,
Is
you
there
just
specific?
enjoy watching the snow fall for a bit, and yeah, you are then ready to return. So you transform and
Flit away.
fly back, which takes another 15 minutes. That puts you at 5:48, which is about an hour that you were gone. So, other party, rest of the party, Greshy and Gunn, what are you guys doing for while you're waiting for Asher to get back?
I think
If
Rock
anything,
and I will each
yeah.
take a couple of patrols during that time.
Patrols how
But-
or where?
He can fly around the perimeter or up above the fortress and just scout, see if any groups are forming up as if to assault the wall. Because I don't think they're going to send anyone to attack the wall alone. It is still a fortress. It seems pretty formidable. Seems like they would need to bring something to break the gates, and we should probably spot that.
Okay, so you're gonna have Rock fly around overhead when I guess.
And Gunn will just walk along the wall, the top of the walls.
Okay. Give me secret perception checks for both of you then.
Secret is control click or shift click.
There's also the eye next to the perception. If you press that one, it's secret.
Yeah, if you press the.
Or, well, I
the
guess if you're looking
/
at the bar at the top, I think it's shift, but I don't recall for certain.
Attributes, perception, shift. We'll try. Oh, shift is the fancy one. Let's try control. I think it's control. Yeah, control does.
There you go. You got it.
One for me, and one for Rock.
All right. Let me thing. Okay. What's that? Okay. And those are your numbers. All right. So, Gunn, you take to patrolling the wall after Asher leaves, and Rock takes to patrolling taking flight over the fortress to fly around and see what's about. You notice very quickly that There are a pretty large number of giants patrolling the lower town, as well as some that are seemingly up in the kind of... Sorry, when I say lower town, I mean this area over here to the west. Oh, sorry, yes, to the west. This is kind of on a lower elevation, down here. So you can see that there are a number of giants all scattered around on this side of town. And you can probably see a bit, well, maybe not super far since it is snowing currently. You can see that there are more giants. Yeah, pretty heavily patrolling the areas around. And it's not too long before you start seeing giants notice rock flying up above the fortress. And some of them will stop and look up at it, and others will start running northward. Or the couple that do spot seem to start running northward.
Okay. All right. Well, it was bound to happen. Although I didn't expect our patrols to be what set them off. Damn. Well, I think that might have been a bit of a mistake. Another mistake was drawing on this map, and now I can't erase it.
I can erase it. Not all of them have noticed you. It looks like maybe 3 or so have spotted you.
If we're talking about
and
the
Rock reports that
the lesser
Rock will
giants,
fly down to you and say as much.
If it's the lesser giants, then it's possible that's still okay.
The ones you noticed, actually Rock would know the specific ones. It was 2 stone giants and one storm giant.
Storm giant, okay. Well, I don't know whether the storm giants are in Gyukaku's camp or group. Yeah, we need to talk to Asher again.
But you did not notice any rune giants in the immediate area. You did see some Lamia, like regular Lamia, just 2 Lamia.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll try to stay out of sight from now on instead of scouting too far. I'll just search from the walls, and I'll just peek over every hour or so.
Okay. All right, Greshy, what are you doing during that hour?
I've got the gunpowder out and some other tools out that I'm starting to mess with in small, very tiny quantities to see if I can start creating little bursts with them and trying to contain them in different elements to see if I can actually create a sort of explosive out of it. Ideally for demolition or detonation purposes, rather than just blowing up a gunpowder barrel.
Okay, yeah, give me a crafting check then.
Sure thing. That's over here somewhere.
Building demolition charges. Explosives.
Just casually building demolition charges. So that was a natural 20.
That is a natural 20.
Total of 50 on that.
Okay. Yeah, you've never really worked with black powder before. You've read about it. It's fairly uncommon, but it's not normally Greshy's type of thing. But you take some time to kind of examine the components of it. You know that it can ignite and explode, but it's not a very it doesn't do a lot of damage on its own. So you get to thinking about like building a charge around it. And yeah, you're able to kind of work out that if you need something hard around the gunpowder before it explodes to contain the explosion and cause it to build up and do more damage. So sure, yeah, you think you could use this stuff to either with some careful carving, some like crafting time to with like stone chisels and stuff on a stone wall, you could perhaps carve out a space to lay some gunpowder and demo the wall like that. That would take some time. You could use something like a stone shape to do it for you in a much faster time. You could use stone shape to build a charge. The sky's the limit, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything like specific that you... Basically, you could do reasonable gunpowder things with the gunpowder.
Well, that's about it. Just trying to determine if there's a way to... If there's a wall to blow up, for example, it would be nice to know exactly the best way to do that. And it sounds like I've got some good ideas in terms of encasing the actual gun black powder in some sort of smaller area to allow it to build up and actually combust to hopefully take out a large chunk of wall, for example.
You would ideally like to like attach it to the attach it to a wall, like that's like a C4 charge. As
what
opposed
about
to
creating a bomb that someone else could set off? Could light and then set off.
You could do that, though it would you would need to do like a gunpowder trail, like you do in old West movies.
Would I be able to use some sort of wick or something, some sort of device of that nature? I mean, some of this would be I'd have to actually figure out materials, of course, but
yeah, you could craft a wick. Yeah, you have the materials to do so.
I don't have any like detonation line or anything, but okay. Well,
yeah, the easy way to do it without a wick is to create a funnel of some kind, and you want a narrow line. There's a Mythbusters episode on it. You just need somebody not to kick the line to break it before.
Right,
before
that does kind of ruin the whole aspect if there's not a continuous line there. But so it's technically doable, but it will not be easy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have some options to make some.
Yeah, obviously you can also
explosives.
set like a barrel or something as like a explosive to damage people or creatures, but that's a barrel is not going to be enough to destroy a wall.
No, it's I need to let the things actually build up a bit to actually explode outward. It can't just be allowed to. It needs to be something strong enough to hold it in place for the gases to actually expand enough to actually cause some sort of blast effect, versus something that's weaker like wood would allow it to explode too early and to just cause fire to go everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, you suspect that Shalaria is made of stone, if you haven't been told that explicitly. Basically, every building in this city has been made of stone.
I made a pretty reasonable assumption, I think. All right, well, that's as long. Did that take the full hour? I imagine so. That's been me kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
Messing with things.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I'll say it's a full hour. Okay. So yeah, Asher, you come flitting back to Ragnarotha. As you're flying back, you notice that the streets are a little bit emptier of giants.
It's gone home to sleep. As it's definitely sleep time. I know the time of day. He will fly in and try and find either Gunn or Greshy, whoever he runs into first.
I mean, you'd see Gunn up on the walls.
Oh. Flies up to Gunn and cheeps.
Oh, welcome back. We may have been spotted. Hopefully by Gyukak's own men, which then will tell him, but he can tell them not to tell the other giants and Lamia that we're here. Maybe. The Lamia probably will find out first, and then they'll tell the rest of the forces. Our time is somewhat limited.
Asher transforms back into a person, dusts himself off. Well, that doesn't seem surprising. You told me they'd figure it out pretty soon that we took the fortress.
Did he get our message earlier today?
Our what?
When you recall, I sent him a message. You drew me a picture of him.
I thought you said he got that message.
Yes, but he didn't acknowledge it. Did you tell him that it was from us?
Asher looks confused. I thought you said he replied. Oh no, I didn't think to ask.
He was covering for it. He was acting like he didn't know who sent the message.
Oh.
Probably because he didn't know who sent the message. Sorry, I'm great. Grace's not there.
That and he can't let random people know that he's not doing what Karzu's forces are supposed to be doing.
Yes, that is true.
That he's a naughty boy.
You can give me a secret perception check, Asher.
Oh, a secret check. Is it a hearing check or a seeing check?
Remembering?
It's retroactive seeing check. It's an insight, so it's not seeing, no. Just a perception.
Secret. There it goes.
Okay. Thinking about it, the way he acted, it sounded like everything you told him he heard for the first time. He never mentioned anything about the getting the message, and from what you remember of Gunn saying aloud, because he had to speak the message aloud when he sent it in the first place, Gunn did mention some of the specifics that you mentioned, but yeah, Jukai didn't seem to. He didn't even think to ask you about it. Presumably, he might have if he had. So it really feels like he didn't get it.
Oh. Yeah, he did seem a bit surprised that we took the fortress. Now that I think about it,
then it probably didn't work. I wonder who did get it. Just some random other giant sitting down to have dinner, to have lunch. Weird.
Oh, were they having dinner?
Seemed like they might have been at a meal.
Oh. Well.
Awkward.
They'll never know who sent it, I guess.
Well, were the giants coming here?
So, yes, but not today.
Okay.
But they're prepared for tomorrow. Is what he's told me, at least. And
we may have that long.
He did tell me to come back to the fortress first thing in the morning, to see.
Well, we should think about what it looks like if an attack is prepared on this fortress. We have our mechanism of retreat. We can go into the tunnels from within the walls, so we should be fine in the worst case.
I did tell him that we would probably retreat, because once they know we're here, they're going to probably send rune giants, and they're heavier forces rather than if it was just.
Will they send the rune giants first, or will they send? Because if they sent the other giants, that could actually be a very effective way to gather our forces. As long as they didn't suspect.
But as long as they knew we were here, they would send rune giants. But if they didn't know we were here, they would perhaps, or UCAC would then perhaps be able to take the fortress. tonight or tomorrow morning.
Because the ideal way to get all, if the giant, the problem is that the giants are all out patrolling the city. Right, we've seen them from the walls, and we've seen them in the north. So, if Gukak did start moving this way, that would probably tip off the rune giants, and not all of his forces would be able to reach here.
Yes.
Done.
The original plan we almost had was to bring the giants here, but we agreed that not all of the giants who wanted to escape could without more time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the gun. I don't mean
That
to
sounds
intrude, but should I go get Greshy?
Greshy.
Let's go down to where Greshy is.
Poor Greshy. He'll have opinions.
Maybe we can talk to Gukak again and ask about the message, because that could be important if I try to send him further messages tomorrow to coordinate timing. Maybe we could go meet him. Do you think you could bring him here in secret as we're going down the stairs?
Asher seems very unsure of if that could happen. I don't know. I did ask if there was a way to do it in a sneakier way, and it seemed to be that.
Yeah,
We're slowly doing it tonight, and then we visit tomorrow morning to coordinate.
I like that. I like that just fine. I think if we hold the fort as long as we can, if rune giants come to attack, we can retreat. But if the stone and other giants are the ones who gather and make an assault, then we can just let them in.
It is a gamble.
And then that'll turn the tables.
And it is worrisome if they send more powerful forces to take the fort, and then the fort, instead of being run by Lamia, is now run by like rune giants during the escape.
Yeah, that would be
fear.
a problem.
Maybe Greshy has an idea.
You say
As we
entering the
walk
room
to
that
him.
Greshy was in.
You see
Look,
Greshy
Greshy.
just covered in soot, even
Oh my
darker than he
God.
normally is. He's got his glasses on. He just kind of pulls them up over his head, so he's got those, little raccoon eyes or reverse
Wow.
raccoon eyes going on. What are we talking about? Everything go okay?
Talking about giants.
Great. Are they on their way? What are we doing?
They're not on
Seems
their
like-
way yet.
It's a good point. If they start coming right now, while they're all spread out, they'll have trouble. Some of them would be able to reach here, and some of them wouldn't. If we give them time to gather first, then we
You
can
want
get
to fill
all
me
of
in
them
on
here.
details here? What's going on? Are they on their way or not?
Slowly. When I spoke to him, our plan, when I spoke to him, was that we would go back underground, and pretty much between now and tomorrow morning, the giants would take the fort, and then we could potentially visit the fort tomorrow to... The word has lost me.
Coordinate?
Coordinate. There we go. It's like collaborate.
Collaborate works too. All right, so we need to move back underground.
Gunn has ideas as well.
because the fort is a very significant tactical. If we abandon it and the rune giants take it, then they'll cut off the giants' escape. I think we should try to hold it covertly until they really attack in earnest, and then from there we may have enough of an advantage from holding the fort that we can actually hold them off somewhat.
Not
But
sure
if we need
3
to retreat,
people
we
could
can
hold
retreat
a
into the
fort
tunnels.
from
Well, not
behind.
again. I mean, sure, if they put ladders up against the walls and rams to both gates, they can break it down.
For magic.
And by then we can get into the tunnels and retreat. Because that'll take time.
My worry is drawing Rune Giant attention to us at all right now down here.
I don't know that they'd come in for us specifically, unless they knew that we were here for sure. We've been doing hit and run tactics this whole time, and I think they're cottoning onto that.
Mhm.
So, not sure that running is necessarily the best idea, though. This is a bit of a pickle, isn't it?
You hear some
running
scraping
just
of stone behind you
Ugh.
as the hidden tile lifts up and scrapes across the ground. And Morgiv peeks out. Oh, sorry, we were discussing something. We'll just go back. And
No, come out.
Okay.
Let him do it.
He'll climb out of the secret tunnel and pull out the yurt and 6 other spare come spilling out. We can just we'll just go over there, and he and the other spare make their way into the next room, to the north of you. Yeah, let us know if we can help you with anything.
I think we should leave the
actually-
giants to take the fortress on their own. What was
sorry,
that?
but I just wanted to tell you, I spoke with some of my friends who were looking for a route up to the peak, and they say they found one. It's through a cavern system. There's a tunnel that leads around the backside of the mountain. It would bypass the main Golden Road, and it would be a climb to get to the peak, but it should avert any troops that are stationed on the Golden Road itself.
That's quite useful, in fact.
But anyway, I can tell you more about it later. I don't want to disrupt your discussion.
So let's not set up the yurt, but if we did find any accommodations here that we could use to rest and take watches during the night,
I don't know that we want to rest here.
I would propose that we would attempt to hold the fort through the night.
Best case scenario is we get attacked in the middle of the night and we have to defend ourselves. Otherwise, the giants will come and take it themselves. Which is fine. We can let the giants come and take it themselves, but if we're looking to hold the fort, we're expecting to be attacked. Or we're expecting the giants to take it. The good giants, not the whatever good giants might be.
I'm not sure I see the rune giants attacking at night. It's possible, but
In which case, why would we want to stay here anyway? The other giants are going to come and take it. We should let them take it.
no.
Like, I mean, if there was some reason for us to actually hold the fort to keep the rune giants out, sure, but in which case we'd be attacked in the middle of the night by rune giants, which is not great either. So staying seems like a general bad idea. We should probably let the giants just deal with it themselves.
The case that this would cover is if the rune giants send a scouting force or a small attack that we're able to repel with the 3 of us, which is probably the more likely.
If that happens, then we hold off the scouting operation, who don't report back, who which warns them that there's actually something to be worrying about here, which causes them to send more rune giants and greater forces that we then have to fend off, and they actually take the fort. If they come here and find there's nothing here except a bunch of dead lamia, they realize that they were hit again, and they either hold the fort with a small scouting force they had, or they'd abandon it. Or perhaps they'd even say, you giants who are right there, why don't you take over the forts for now, until we send a proper force down here later.
I wanted to be the ones doing that. That's the thing. If we can turn the fortress over to the giants directly, then we ensure that they have an escape route rather than leaving it up to chance.
The giants aren't our responsibility, they're theirs. If we give them opportunity to leave and they take it, great. If they don't...
It's also the best outcome for our assault plan.
I'm starting to question the assault plan then. If we have another route up the mountain.
Fair enough.
No, I'm...
No, I hear
Greshy's
you.
rune
If
starts
we-
to glow even through the soot, as he mentions. There's still the question of Lucretia and Glorifex in the fortress, but
If we rested for the night and then went up the mountain, the giants would be on their own, but they would be in a better position than they were when we started. They would potentially have Kraknaratha on their side to prevent them from being blocked in their retreat. But it still seems likely that they would get chased down.
we would need to take the fortress if we were going to try and ensure their safety at all.
It's absolutely certain that the fortress will be sieged if we stay here and they know we're here. I think that is a pretty big. Nothing's ever 100%. Asher knows statistics, obviously,
A
but
defensive position is, we'd have the high ground. We'd have the benefit of walls and towers and gates instead of being on the opposite side of that equation.
we'd be underground.
It is easier to defend than it is to attack, generally speaking.
But it's not up to us to attack it. It's up to the giants.
If we're planning to attack the rune giants in Shalaria, why do that when we could have them attack us here and just have the fort on our side? That's what I'm saying.
Because I don't think they'd send as many people down here to deal with us as you'd like. And I also
Better.
think that would just be wearing us down over time. We're do fairly well if we can actually get the element of surprise on our side. The problem is sometimes we don't do very well at that. A lot of times we don't do very well at that.
Well,
but when
we
we do, it actually works quite well.
We have been doing that recently, and it has been working quite well in this campaign, let's say. This
whole adventure
This
that we've been on the
urban-
path of.
no, this urban military campaign we've been waging.
Asher, did you happen to get a map of Shalaria? Is it easily defendable on their side? Because perhaps it's...
Asher shows a little drawing he made, unaware of the shape of Shalaria, but Shalaria is not particularly a fortress. Did you know it was a military academy? Because I didn't. So it has a big outer wall. He shows the outer wall, and it's 2 staircases in the southeast and the southwest, and inside are some, lecture halls and beetles and buildings. And this is really my best assumption based on what I was told. Unfortunately, apparently only rune giants and giant leaders, what I wrote, get to go in, and UCAC is a more lowly giant. So this is the best I got.
Greshy rubs his rune absentmindedly. Does Greshy have any memories from Thassalon, as it were, of this military academy, knowing that the Wrathful would have been trained and trained over again in fighting in many ways.
Give me a Thassalon lore check then.
Let's see how badly that goes. Not as bad as I thought. 35 total on that.
35.
Mostly I'm wondering if there's entrances or exits that may not be quite so obvious that could benefit us. But any information could be useful too.
Yeah, you close your eyes and the memories flash through your brain, memories that clearly aren't yours. And you find yourself standing on a very large stone step, much like the stone steps that I'm not going to remember the name, but you've been on some very large giant steps before. At the dam. Very similar sized stone steps that led up to the dam are kind of winding up.
Damn big steps, got it.
Yeah. So you're looking up at what looks like a fairly large building behind a slightly smaller wall. You can see a golden gate currently closed, and a rune giant standing in front of it. You turn to your presumably a companion who shakes their head and says in Thessalonian, unfortunately, they won't let us inside. I was hoping to get a feeling for the giants' training techniques, but... and you shake your head as well. Perhaps it will make sense. The Lasness is not on good terms with Paizo. They wouldn't want us learning any secrets. And you kind of turn and start walking down the steps. Given the memory phase.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
We may need to have another conversation with UCAC to coordinate something from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
See when his forces could get here. The best would be, the ideal scenario here is actually for him and his giants to be given orders to assault the fort, to take it back.
The way they would get that is if they didn't think we were here. Because if they know we're here, I'll keep reiterating, they're going to send someone stronger. So the best chance of getting them here to take the fort is by leaving the fort.
All right.
I think we're leaving. As much as I understand holding the fort is good for defensive purposes, it sounds like it's not going to be good enough for enough people to make it worth our while. It's just us wearing down their forces a bit and wearing ourselves out at the same time.
Well, given the option of going now or waiting to see who they send, what's your preference? Because if we wait here and spend our evening here, we can see who comes to the gates and how many they send, and then we can retreat to the tunnels at that time.
That's fair. Did Yukak say when he's expecting people to come down? Does he know?
He seemed to think within a few hours, an hour to a few hours, they would send someone pretty fast.
They must do chickens. That's what they were doing with Polar Effects.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably what they'd be expecting from here is somebody to check in. And I can't imagine we can fake it enough to get by. I don't even know what it'd be kind of like. What sort of... It would be so nice to be able to actually talk to Gyokak. But I don't think that's on the cards today.
Well, is he on board for assaulting Shalaria tomorrow? And if so, how do we get in touch with him when we're ready to launch that?
Said he is on
If
board.
we're not at the fortress.
That
Send
they
another
will
message.
just kind of.
The last one didn't seem to have worked.
But didn't he respond to you?
Somebody responded. I thought it was him.
But Asher did such a good picture.
Was a really
I know.
good picture.
Well, perhaps it's the strangeness of divination in this area. Maybe we failed a flat check. Of some kind.
Well, if I think we could wait and see who shows up. I don't know who wants to be the scout to be doing that, but we can do so. I have some other things I can work on for the evening, I suppose, but we would need to be able to move fast the moment we saw that it wasn't somebody friendly.
Yeah,
Which
we'll
It almost
leave
certainly
our,
isn't going to be friendly, so...
We'll leave our yurt packed away so that when we do retreat, we can rest. And yeah, let's keep working on our projects.
I don't think I can work on the bigger one I want to work on tonight, but I do have these rocks I want to look at.
Rock was seen patrolling, so maybe Asher and I can do it from now on and be careful not to be seen from
You don't
outside the fort.
have any invisibility that lasts for a bit, do you?
No.
Does your cape not work right now? Or we use it already?
No, we don't have that cloak anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, the cloak's been
But,
gone.
There are crenellations, so we can just sort of peek over, I think.
fair enough. Okay.
I can also just be a really small bird, and I need to sleep the least, so.
Well, you two are pretty quick. I'm going to put Phelan in my bag, and I pick him up and start dusting him off because he's covered in soot as well from all the shenanigans I've been working on. And then I'm just going to set up near the secret exit to be able to get out of here as soon as possible once you give me the word.
Okay. Sorry, could you reiterate? So it sounds like Greshy is down by the secret exit. I missed the locations of Gunn and Asher.
I will just flit around, not flit, but like go and land somewhere by the main gate to look out to see if anyone is coming as a bird. And
Okay, so
this
you're waiting the 10
particular one.
minutes and then transforming again. Okay,
and then it's going to be the 24-hour one, so I just don't have to change for a very
Got
long
it.
time.
alright. So Asher's in pest form as a bird, flitting around nearby. And Gunn?
Between patrols, I'll probably help out Greshy with anything that, and like this backplate is starting to get a little uncomfortable, so I should probably have him see if we can work on that a little bit to rig the armor around it.
I've got a repair kit. We can kind of make some holes, perhaps. See what I can do.
Do you want to start with that?
Got artisan's tools as well. That's also useful. Excellent. I think that's probably the best thing. Well, wait, did I hear correctly? Asher needs to charge first, or is Asher able to go take a look now?
Charge for 10 minutes.
Okay.
We'll be fine. We don't have to be patrolling constantly. We're
Alright.
watching for forces gathering.
Fair enough. If
We don't mind patrolling if you wish.
Morgiv says from the other room,
Uh,
peeking up through the
oh,
door.
good God,
Bear
they're
would
all
make-
still over there. I forgot.
The Spirit would make pretty good patrollers.
Do you have that invisible thing?
If as long as they keep themselves safe enough, that would actually be very useful if they can keep an eye out. Let us know when any sort of creature that's not supposed to be around is nearby, especially if they look like they're heading our way.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. And he gets up, starts whispering amongst the others there, and they all make their way out the building and to go up on the ramparts to keep watch. All right. Give me. So you then go to Greshy, or to Gunn to undo his backplate armor and take a look. When you do so, you unbuckle the clasps holding the backplate together and start to lift off the back piece, and it actually kind of gets thrown off as Gunn. You feel like a big pressure that's on your back, like release, and these wings just unfurl to their like full form. Big feathery wings, very similar in variety to Rock's brown eagle wings. A few feathers fall loose, and you can kind of feel their like weird
explains. You know, maybe I'll practice with these a bit or something. I don't know.
Do you now or?
Yes, right now. I need a minute. I'll just walk out.
I'll get started on his backplate while he's busy with wings that are quite big all of a sudden.
Okay.
He's got some strange deformities I'm not expecting.
Yeah, I think this is just a crafting check with a repair kit.
Alright, that will be one of these buttons.
Should be relatively easy, but I guess it's a findable item.
Well, that's a 48.
So, yes, that's enough to do a level 24 item, so yeah, you're able to, based on your estimation of, you didn't get a chance to take measurements of them or anything, but you're able to kind of carve out some what you think would be good enough sized holes that are fit well enough into the frame of the armor and won't leave too much back to actually exposed. So that will be ready for Gunn when he gets back. Gunn heads outside into the snow to get some reps in with his new wings. Asher
and some alone time
spared. And some alone time, sure. Asher goes to join the spared for patrolling, I guess. Is that true? Maybe. Yes? No? Asher?
Talking to me.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, what did you ask?
I was asking if you were patrolling.
I was reading something. Yes, I am patrolling.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry, I thought you were still enough that I'm like, oh shit, did Char freeze?
No, I was reading what Adam wrote in the chat, and I was like, am I misremembering? That is true, like totally possible. I do my best to write things down. But I might have misremembered things. That wouldn't have been
I
on
could have
purpose.
sworn that Gukak said that when they find out that we've taken the fort, they'll send his giants first. And then if they fail, that they'll send the rune giants in.
I think that was one of the possibilities, but I think he changed his tune later on in the conversation.
Yeah, he said that initially and then corrected himself and realized that no, if they found you there, or if they suspected that it was you, that they would almost certainly send rune giants. Or someone
I was
bigger.
just double checking because I'm like, I would have argued for the one where they sent them, and if I was arguing the wrong one the whole time, I would have been like, I need to correct that, like right now.
No, even he was suggesting that even in the case that the giants took the fortress, that they might still send rune giants to deal with an insurrection. So it's kind of either way.
Yeah, that's what I remembered.
Really matter.
Okay.
Yeah, either they send maybe just rune giants, or they send rune giants plus Glorifex or Lucretia or any other major threats that are still around. Okay.
Anyway,
Okay. So, a little bit of time passes while some patrols are going on. The snow continues to fall. It gets a bit darker as the sun begins to set over the hills. Over the volcanoes in the background. And
over the face, the giant head.
Like, is the head in the right direction?
Well, it's north.
I think it's to the north of you, so not quite, but that would be really cool. Maybe the sun could do that instead. Shit. Right. Sorry. The sun is starting to set. The Asher, you and the spared have there's less and less visibility as the snow continues to build up. The dark clouds don't seem to be getting any lighter. There's still rumblings and thunder. Eventually, I think Gunn joins the patrols as it gets as the sun fully sets, and it's around that time that you start to hear more and more thunder start to build up, and you start to see erratic lightning flashes in the clouds.
That mean a dragon is coming? A dragon coming. Do I know this to mean that?
Do we want to fight the dragon again? Or do we want to leave that for later? Okay.
There's some shaking of heads no, and
Sorry.
some shaking of heads yes.
Greshy's not actually there to express his opinion. I'm just.
Is Greshy like, yes, dragon.
She's just sitting down there working on stuff. I'm just like, no, I don't know why, but no.
I think, yeah, at the time we start hearing dragon coming, it's like, okay, time to leave. Grab our things and dive in the tunnels.
Okay. Give me. Actually, I'll do it. I think I can do it. I can roll my own perception checks on your behalf. Okay. You start to see lightning flashes in the sky. They're starting to get closer. You hear thunder. You immediately kind of both panic. The spared try to come point this out to you, but you're already very well aware. One of the spared actually points out that there's a bunch of torches in the distance. Looks like giants are approaching as well. But they can't quite make them out in the... or they can see giant shapes, but...
Well, it doesn't much matter which group of giants it is.
They're not rune giants, at least they're smaller.
But yeah, you still rush as a group down to where Greshy is. Throw open the massive door.
We're going. All right.
Yep. And we'll close it behind us.
Okay. Yeah, are you taking the spared with you, or are you leaving them here at the fortress?
Of course we're taking them with
Yeah,
us. We're not going to leave them here. You're crazy.
We grab them.
Okay, yeah, the spared run into the roof then, and then you close the door.
Half tempted to
I wasn't
ask
sure
them
if
to
it closes the
collapse
door
behind
on or
us,
not.
but I think we're okay.
You take the yurt.
Okay, with the spared in hand, Asher sitting on Morgief's shoulder, maybe, in pest form still, or you can
We'll have
unpest
to
form, it's up to you. You begin to lift or you have somebody, Gunn probably lifts the stone slab that's blocking the secret tunnel entrance, and you you hear a loud roar rumble the building. There's another lightning strike nearby that shakes the building violently, and you all jump into the tunnel. And I think that is where we're going to end for tonight.
Bravely brave Sir Robin.
I wonder if the dragon's mad at us. You think he's mad
Maybe.
at us? Maybe he's friendly.
Maybe. Well,
Guess
We
let's
killed
make a
him
deal.
this morning, right?
No, yesterday.
2 days. Yeah, yesterday. Yes, it was either yesterday or 2 days ago.
It's been at least 24 hours.
Oh, right. This morning was the
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 This
Yeti-
is
House
the
of-
Lamia.
the Yetis, the Lamia, and then the
Fortress.
Ragnaratha was
Yes,
all
so
in the
you-
same day.
Yeah, yesterday was when you killed Glorifex. As chat is suggesting, it's potentially boss rush time soon. But we'll have to probably wait a week to find out. Next week is Halloween, so we are going to be off. But join us next time, presumably on Monday, November 7th, as we get to work, hopefully enacting whatever this plan is. See y'all next time. Bye.